Greetings. Got my hat making another appearance here. I'm gonna go full episode here with this bad boy on. I'm excited to connect in to share some stuff. A lot more reflections even since last time of a process I like to call the purification of intentions. To know why I'm doing things. Isn't that important to know? And I was just thinking about the recognition of, this probably isn't a lot of people's speed. In order to get to the depth of the connection and the sensation that I want to express and get across, it's a deliberate process. I have to go slow. I've even mentioned that on previous recordings. Just like that, pauses like that cause me to go into how I'm feeling. I can't feel if I'm going so fast. You think of somebody who's talking fast or who's doing something fast, they're not in a state of feeling. And so that might even be an indicator of who to maybe avoid, or not avoid, but like recognize where they are and not get sucked into that vibration and mirror it and start mirroring it yourself. But also to think about yourself, right? How often do you go that fast? How often can you catch yourself not feeling? So ultimately I do that for myself. I think about how slow can I go? And I still have my comforts. I still have my go-tos. And I think about where I am in the process. Headed to Greece semi-permanently or on a sabbatical, however you want to think about it. And I'm not going to have access to a lot of the comforts that I'm used to enjoying, quote unquote. But it's more like used to using to cope with something I'm uncomfortable with. And that's how you know you're uncomfortable, is when you go slow. And then that's what you explore to understand how to get more comfortable about it. Not even that. It's not even how to get more comfortable with it or about it. It's to almost like conquer it, or to know what it's here telling you or teaching you. Because that's ultimately what it is. If you're uncomfortable with something, you don't really know what it is. Because if you did, you would have just addressed it. You don't want to be uncomfortable. So that's the game, the game of life. I just solved everybody's purpose in life is to bring your unknowing into the knowing. Nobody wants to play that game. It's not that nobody wants. There's so many levels that it requires for somebody to be successful at that game. First of all, you gotta know that there is that game. Second of all, you gotta like enjoy a part of the journey of playing that game, because by its nature, it's difficult to play. You're like choosing to do something difficult. And then you got to learn to like that, because it's not about the end of the journey. It's about the journey itself. And how can you like figuring out what's wrong with you, or what you reject about yourself, or what you pretend like is not there. That's really what it is. If you're uncomfortable, or not in a joyous state, like think of all the ways you give in and negotiate with yourself that it's okay. I'll make the best of this. Well, this is my reality. I'd rather not pick it, but this is where I am. And I don't know. I don't know about that viewpoint. I think there's things that are out of our control, but I think our soul, our that flame, that inside spark is going when you're truly motivated. Like something like that has to piss you off enough to light that fire. Anger is a very key part to any awakening or any journey or any achievement. You get a little pissed off. Now, it can't be misguided anger. It can't be, that stuff can fuel you, but it fizzles out, right? So you need to, that's another stage of the game of whatever you're playing, is to know how to channel your anger in a altruistic way that's for your highest good, for the highest good of other people. It can't be directed at people or because you resent something. That can be useful, but you get to a stage to where you even examine that. So anyways, recognize that there's a game, decide to play the game, and be okay with the game not being easy. Learn to like that part of it not being easy, learn to like the journey. And then consistency. Like there are so many layers that you can solve 1,000 things and still have a million more. But it tells you who you are if you make the commitment and keep going and keep going and keep going. Because ultimately, it's not about, you got to recognize that pretty early on. It's not about, well, you don't have to, because that keeps driving you. It's not about what's at the end. The end is the sweetness, but there's a whole spectrum. It's not like you pursue it and you flip the switch and all of a sudden you go from unawakened to awaken. It is a awakening. It is a whole spectrum of awakening. So when I think about going slow allows me the best setting to play the game. You get to a certain point to where it's not about making one situation's progress or one progress rep a week or a month. It's an everyday commitment. It's almost an obsession. But you even have to strike your balance and your healthy relationship with your commitment to it. Because it'll break you down. It'll break your brain if you throw everything at it. So there's balance there, right? Balance in everything is key. So here's what I want to say: to go slow. It's why going slow is important, and it's proven out when I record something. So I want to get into this here and share why I'm recording, because I've thought about this and I think I'm in the process of purifying my intentions, and I just want to share it. When I go slow, the first things that I say out of my mouth, everybody's probably thought of. The second thing that comes out of my mouth, if I go down a level from whatever I say, a select few people, like less people, have thought that deeply. And then if I go down a layer, third and fourth and fifth, like we're getting into smaller and smaller territory of the number of people who take the time to go to that depth. So what's interesting sometimes is that you can go right from level 2 to level 5, and you can say something shocking that is so true to people who are at level 2, but who it's so true that it strikes them, and they know it to be true. They don't know how you said something like that or how you came up with it, but they just appreciate that it's out there and that they get the benefit from hearing it. So recording something like this shows the steps of levels 2, 3, 4, 5, and then every once in a while something will come through, but it can only come through in the quiet. And that's a lesson for a lot of people. Not everybody, a lot of people stay surface level. The status quo is surface level. It's the equivalent of, hey, how you doing? Good, how are you? Good, hope you are. That's the southern version of the northern good, how are you? That's what we learn up north. Down south, it's good, hope you are. But it's automated. It is, I don't really want to engage with you. I don't have the time to engage with you. I will be rude if I don't say anything at all. But I'm letting you know I'm a good person because I'm responding to you. I'm saying the status quo. And this is not an attack on anybody, but it's the game. It pulls you in. That's what the Matrix is. It's a system that makes you automatize to it. You have to adjust to it. You have to attune to it. So you can, this will be a funny part. You can get to a place to where even a situation such as that, where you feel like, well, what else would I say? You can address that. You find yourself addressing that in a way that is so natural to you that it's not surface level at all. And it's as simple as, I'll just give an example. Even if you were to say the same things, how are you doing? I'm good. How are you? It can be as simple as looking somebody directly in the eye and saying it from the heart. Does that make sense? How are you doing? I'm good. How are you? Like, even that is much different than, I'm good. How are you? Just the cadence of it, right? You can feel the depth of somebody by the way they say something, by the way they carry themselves. So going slow allows you to examine the depth. And here's the whole purpose of it, at least for me, this is the enjoyable part. is that once you get to level 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, you know that thing so well that you've been to the bottom of the hole and up. Like, you know how deep it goes. You know what's in the soil at every level. You can read it. That's why you come off. You're a superior, intelligent being. You're more of a superior, intelligent being because you know the depths of where thoughts go. That's basically what it is. And it's not, again, it's not an attack. And it's interesting that I keep saying that because there's a guilt level to knowing something. People start to resent you for going that deep, or it makes them feel uncomfortable because they've either chosen not to go there, or they're not even aware that it's a possibility for them. So you get to a point in your leveling up where even that has to not matter. You have to figure out your own boundaries for when people get upset at you. And you just examine that. Go down 13 layers with that. With how much do you accommodate people by your actions? Do you not shine because of what other people say about you, or that you'll feel guilty because you're leaving them in the wake, or they'll be jealous of you because of what you have or what you've accomplished, or who you've become in the process? So that's why sometimes it feels like there's an infinite number of levels of the game. But the deeper you go, you get to this level of truth. It's there's a weight and a responsibility that comes with it, but even that can be examined, right? But it's rewarding in its own different way. My nervous system is calmer. That's how I know. I feel better in my body. I'm more patient. I have my own pace. I know what my own energy feels like. And when we're constantly bumping into others and we're going so fast, we lose that. That's the tragic part. We get so far away from it that we forget that it's there. I remember as a kid thinking, when I would bump up against some adults and they used to just treat me like that, like the good how are yous, the just passing bys. I remember thinking, I hope I never get like that. I hope I remain self-aware that I never stray that far as understanding what I could be feeling right now. How could you interact with me like that if you knew how that made me feel? We get so far removed from that feeling, we make that okay. And it feels like not a big deal. It's everything. It's the micro decisions that are patterned for the rest of your life based on that experience that you've had. And it wears you down. It wears you down because everybody's playing that game. And then so you start to get to a point as you get older, like, am I crazy? I bet whoever's watching this, I bet you remember yourself as a kid. And if you don't, I challenge you to think about it. I invite you to think about it because we've all been there. Where you kind of have the world figured out. And not like that you know everything, but that things flow. Your parents yell at you and get you in trouble. It's just a game to wait out until you can have the next fun that you're ready to have, until you can be mischievous again. Man, does it suck to be punished and put in your room. Try making your peace with that and going down 13 levels. But we get so far away from it, and you have so many experiences with adults or even other kids that you can tell have just lost their own way. And yeah, you just start to wonder, is that the way that, like, I guess I'll play that game because everybody else is playing. Nobody's playing this game with me. Like, and that's why part of the journey is having fun again with yourself, by yourself. You just have fun with living, from going from one thing to the next. That's what Greece is about to me. I'm going to get that back. And I don't know who's going to be there, what's going to be on that journey, and there could be shit that's hard and scary, and I don't know the language, but doesn't matter. I'm going to go have fun. Yeah. So as a kid, yeah, just remember feeling, I hope I never get that. I hope I never stray. And I did stray, and I have strayed. Um, I'm lucky enough to have met a lot of people, and particularly one person who reminded me what that spark felt like. Um, you get a little taste of what of that it's possible again in your adult age, quote unquote, and that'll make you start to see things differently. Again, it'll make you remember that you used to see things differently, and that you're not so far away from it. You don't have to give up on it. You can actually rekindle that. Uh, you got to go deep though. Even, I'm like self-aware enough to listen to. It's almost like I'm romanticizing it. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about purification of intentions. Yeah, so this is all related to why do I record this? Why do I post it? Here's what I've come up with, and we're gonna go the layers one at a time here because I just thought of this earlier today, and I think I'll get to another layer deeper like in real time here. So stay tuned. No, uh, yeah, it's not for views, it's not for likes. Although there's a part of my ego that wants that. I mean, let's just call that what it is. It's cool. It's validation. People are watching. People are clicking on it. People are resonating with it, what I have to say. I feel important because whatever I'm saying is important to other people. It's all the games. So that couldn't be the reason that I was posting. So what is it? Well, it is. Here's what it is for me. When I turn the camera on, I go into a certain character, and I used to feel guilty about like what. Why would I do that? Why would I act differently? You act differently in all your different scenarios. So which one comes to life? For me, when I turn the camera on, I seem to get into this connected place to where it's almost like the camera makes it really important. Um, and so I should be at my best. And so what it's helping me do is be at my best at all times. And so I will eventually be able to flip the camera on at all times during the day and like something good's going to come out. But like even when it's not on me or not recording me, I'm still saying I'm still in my state. So it's helping me practice to be at my best. So why does it take a camera for me to be at my best? And this is the interesting part because it feels like people are watching. And so why do I need to be at my best if people are watching? I want them to think more highly of me. I care about what they have to say. I care about their approval. I care about their judgment. So then it comes right here. This is whose judgment I care about. This is whose approval I care about. And so this is the character I want to play. And it's character, it's not ego. This is my character. I am the character. This is my character. I'm not saying it right. This is character. This is my character. I don't mean it like Avatar, but like, how can I say this? Here's us going down a level. So I'm stuck. Let's just receive what comes through. That's how I'll describe this. What's happening here? Give me more. I'll accept more guidance and wisdom. Not give it to me. Thank you for more guidance and wisdom. It's my essence. It's who I am. This is who I am. When the camera's off of you and nobody's watching, who is that? Is that the real you? Would you be proud of who you are when the camera's off? And I'm talking all times. If you believe in God or a God, sometimes you think about like somebody's up there, right? Somebody's over there watching over you. There's no being, there's no physical being. There's maybe presences or essences. We believe in that sort of stuff. The person who's watching you is you. So how proud do you want to make yourself? And how do you even make yourself a proud in a pure way? Like what's a pure proud? How are you purely proud of yourself? Well, it's just becoming aware of everything that you can and questioning. We talk about childhood, questioning why, but why does that happen? What is that? Everything was questioning. Do that about yourself, about your mannerisms, your personality, your character, your essence. Is this my pure essence? And here's how you know: is if you can feel it. It's literally an energy. I can feel an energy pulsating. It's not a pulsate. It's a glow. I can feel my chest glowing right now. That's how I know I'm in my body. I'm in my character. I'm in my essence. Is that I'm slow enough to recognize that that's there, and I'm patient enough to not leave it, and just can continue to feel it whenever I become aware of it. You get so much practice with this that you don't lose the awareness, but it's kind of like peripheral vision, right? If you got good hand-eye coordination, you can look straight ahead, you can see something out of the corner of your vision without even looking at it, and you can catch it. It's the same with your heart. You think about your heart and you don't leave it, but eventually you can start doing other things, but you're peripherally feeling your heart. I like that analogy a lot, right? Hand-eye coordination. You can't, some people say they can see the ball hitting the bat. I never could be able to do that, but you could look it all the way in, but you can just know where your hands are, and you can look at a spot or even look at your hands and see the ball coming in and catch it. And so it's the same way when you're acting and doing and speaking, you're thinking about your heart. And when you get sucked into a matrix trap or a vibrational match, something that's upsetting you or causing you emotion, you get away from that. And that's why it feels uncomfortable. You notice that you're anxious or sad or angry, and usually it's triggered by somebody else, because you wouldn't be able to see the trigger if you weren't around other people. And that's a whole nother conversation. That's the mirror. Maybe we can get into that next. Yeah, you can peripherally feel your heart at all times. And that's how you know you're in your heart. And if you know that you're away from your heart, and the better you get at this, you can detect when you left it. What caused me to leave my heart? And why would you even be in your heart? What does it mean? Here's what I'll say about that, is that you can tell when somebody's in their heart. It feels like to you like they've been through some hard shit, or they've been a warrior in life and they've overcome stuff. You can sense those people with depth of soul, of living, of being. You can look at their eyes. You can look at their patience that they have. They've been to some places. I'm not talking physically, but they're still king. They're on top. They know who they are, and that's worth its weight in gold. Why did I say that about people with depth? Oh, that's why you play the game of the heart. So the heart is the most powerful. Like, the heart is where love. This is interesting. People think love, they think the heart, but it's so cliche. You lose the meaning of it. It's true, but the heart is where this is the power center. When this is on, you're so in tune. You're so connected to a higher power, source energy, that thing that we all have access to. You're so connected that it glows. It's your power. And so when you're there, you have to be pure. But it works together with your inner work. So once you solve these things and you go to the depth, that's how you get your heart to turn on. That's how you fall deeply in love with yourself. You literally move pain into your heart. So pain is stored in the rest of your body. That's why people get sore. That's why people have aches and pains. It has nothing to do with your external world. That's the evidence you have. Oh, I bumped my elbow on the refrigerator. It's because the refrigerator or that situation matched your energy. Not the refrigerator. We're not going to personify the refrigerator, but it's life, the universe, giving you a reason to pay attention to a part of your body. So if you get hit in the elbow, like, what does your elbow do? It's flexible, it's bendable, it can make you extend and reach. That has significant meaning. Your elbow has significant meaning. If your shoulders are sore, right? It's giving you a message. Pay attention to why your shoulders are sore. It's showing up. Your shoulders carry burden. Your shoulders, you put thing on your shoulders. You put heavy backpacks on. You put rocks in your backpack, other people's rocks. So they're all messages, all parts of your body. Think of where you're sore, where you're injured in your body right now. That's an indication, not from the evidence of how it got there or what you think happened to get there, but it's making you question the functionality of that part of your body. If your leg is hurt, what do you use your leg for? If you have restless leg syndrome, this is what I'm still dealing with. You're running. You want to run from something. You're not running from something. It has to do with running. It has to do with fight or flight. It has to do with, right? So stop coping with the surface level symptom. Learn why it's there. Your body is one of the most so underrated how smart it is, but it can't tell you. That's the cool thing about spirituality, is that your body is spirituality. Your body equals spirituality. That's the equation. Because spirituality is what you can't see, and you can't see the pains in your body. So your body is connected to the spirit world, if you will, because there are energies moving through it that are blocked, and then you have experiences in your external world that mirror what you should think about in your internal world. Is this getting too crazy? This is genuinely what I believe in, and it's not that I believe in it; it's that I know it. I've been through it. I've experienced it. So this is what's cool about even people who doubt that this is a possibility. I don't care. This is not for you. And if you're open-minded enough and you don't quite believe it, just think about it. I challenge you. I invite you to explore it. Anyway, that's not what this is about, right? I catch myself becoming unpure in how I'm speaking to the camera, right? That's so interesting. But there is a sense of me that desires to help other people, and then I can follow that rabbit hole, right? Because that makes me feel better about myself. Yeah. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about. I can't remember what it was. Oh, the mirror. Yeah, my memory recall is better too when I go slow. It's so interesting. Like, how often do you say, "What was I thinking about? I lost my train of thought." I almost never lose my train of thought. That's pretty cool. And I can weave things into the conversation and like remember where I was when I left off like a weave ago, not a month ago, a weave ago. The mirror. So, yeah, say you got, you have your childhood trauma, things that you went through, and you have your coping patterns, your coping mechanisms. If you're always by yourself, how fast are you going to address those things? Are you going to come to healing? Or are you going to come to wholeness? Probably not at all. You don't even know if something is the matter. So the cool part about our living human experience, the mirror effect, learn this, is that you match with other people vibrationally who will mirror back to you the next thing for you to address, whatever makes you angry, whatever makes you upset, whatever makes you anxious, whatever makes you feel bad about yourself. It's such a gift. Those other people are motherfuckers sometimes, but you're the motherfucker. They're mirroring back the motherfuckerness back to you. Once you realize that's what's happening, you impersonalize every experience that you have, and you become more powerful to observe it from a lens that's outside of yourself, above yourself. You can look down upon the scene in the moment and say, this is happening to me. This is how I feel. It appears that this person's making me feel this way, but all that's happening is that they're showing up to show me how I already feel, to show me what's already inside of myself that I need to think about. So thank you for showing this to me. And now it's my responsibility to take responsibility for that emotion and the way I feel and figure out why the fuck it's there. Or else I continue to damage other people. The game is to keep moving up the vibrational ladder, and you'll continue to meet other people. It'll be different people, right? If other people, you can bring people up with you. You can ascend. There's other people who want to ascend and understand truth as much as you do. That's why it's cool that it requires a partner. It requires a mirror back to you. It requires at least two people. But yeah, so you want to go up by understanding what these people mirror back to you. So It's wild because this is the game that kids started to play, that you started to play as a kid, and you got away from it because everybody else is playing. I'm bringing this game back. This is the only game that I'm playing because it is the most rewarding game, and I need less to be happy. I don't need anything. I get to pursue what I want, what my character wants from a pure perspective. And it's a constant, I'm not perfect, it's a constant purification process. Why do I want these things? I want joy. I want to experience, like, of all the spiritual world and the inner work of being out of your body and, meditating. We are still in our bodies. We still have a body. And so part of our why we're here is to experience the physical plane of existence. There are multiple planes. There's the mental plane, there's the emotional plane, there's the spiritual plane, there's the physical plane. We're still here. So think of, all right, here, we'll end with this. Think of the most beautiful sensation slash scene that you can think of. So maybe it's something you've already experienced, of whatever reason. I've been to Machu Picchu. So like looking down upon that scene from that hill, not turn around taking the duck face peace signs picture to post on Facebook, although I probably did that. But no, it's when your back is turned on that quote unquote photo, and you're looking down on these ancient ruins from thousands and thousands of years ago. And you could just imagine, because it took you half a day or full day or more to get up to this place, like how these people lived, and what they knew with, anyways, it takes me to that place of beauty. So that's the challenge. That's the invitation is, and it could be, like an idealistic image that you see in your mind. I ask you maybe not to do that. Well, whatever makes the feeling most real to you. This is how our body works, right? It's about the feeling. It's not about what makes us feel the feeling. So you start with the feeling, you get an image, and then you like attach slash unattach yourself to that desire to get to that scene, because that scene will give you the feeling. And on the way, the universe will give you another scene that makes you have that feeling. Anyways, I want to wrap with people feeling that feeling, or I'm just going to do this myself. Anybody can join who wants to. So Machu Picchu originally came up, but right now, it's almost like this is a future projection. I'm going to put myself on Greece, on one of the islands, right on the water, watching the sun come up. And I can feel the depth of the scene right now, and just like taking in nature. That's a good feeling. And in a way, I'm feeling my heart's glow pick up a little bit. So that's cool. It's like a confirmation, right? The intention's pure, the sensation is pure, and therefore it's almost like you get rewarded. But it's a reward that you didn't even ask for. I didn't need that, but it's like, yeah, like that's how you know you're on the right path. So it's for the joy. It's for the joy of living. No matter where you are in your path, you can access this feeling, and it's just a variation of how long you can hold on to it, how real and realistic the sustained version of this is to you. And either way, it doesn't matter. Just feel it as long as you can, and remember that you can always come back to it. Feeling a lot of love. So peace to you all, love to you all, and we'll see you next time.